Welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. Hope your trucks are treating you good. This is a really important video, and I hope I don't forget anything. I've got a few notes here. So, you want to get your authority or you just gotten it. The big thing you have to prepare for is your new entrant safety audit. What I've read, everything I've read said it happens within 3 to 12 months after you start your authority. Mine just so happened to be the last week. I mean, it was just a couple of days before that year mark. In Texas, they're backed up on everything. I don't know why. It's just the way it worked out. So I'm going to go over what I did to prepare and how it worked out, because I just got my results back today. So I, like you guys, I did the same thing. I watched a lot of videos. I went and tried to print lists, and I noticed that every list had a little bit something different, and maybe that had to do with whatever state you're in, that sort of thing. But I just compiled that list, and I got everything ready. And what I would do is each one of these things that I needed, as soon as I get it, I made a file on my desktop on my computer. And I would, each one of those things that I thought I might need, I would click and drag, put it in that file, and it would be there from day one. And I was just ready to pull that trigger. So, new entrant safety audit happens within that first year. How did I get contacted? You know, I don't know what I was expecting on this, but I ended up getting an email from an administrator for the Texas DOT or state troopers. And in that email, she said, you have this much time to give me a call, and so we can arrange your safety audit. So I called her right away. She went over what I was going to need and what they expected from me. And what she did was she sent me a couple of emails with the information that I would need to send to them, and who would be conducting the safety audit and their phone number. And then she went over the process, or how the process might go. And she sort of put some fears at ease. But what she said was, don't worry about failing. Most people fail the first time. And when that happens, you just give me a call and I'll walk you through what we have to do to fix it. You resubmit the paperwork. And she said you have, I forget what the amount of time you have to resubmit this paperwork, and you can do it so many times until you either get it right or you give up. So in that respect, it took a little bit of stress off, knowing that it wasn't just a pass or fail right away. Boom, you're done. So I got this email from her stating exactly everything I needed and how to submit it. And it was really simple. I thought that I had everything set up so I could just click and drag that file over there. But there are a couple of things that I wasn't prepared for that I should have been on one of them, and the other one you just have to do it at the last minute no matter what. So I'll get into those in a minute. But the first thing, obviously, what they're going to need is your drivers. At that time, it was only me. So, your driver's license, picture of it, your relevant information, all the things that, they need to make sure that you have a CDL and it's in good standing. Along with that, you need to have a copy of your driving record. Now, I've heard this from a couple of different places when I was doing some research on this and or getting my authority, and I heard two different guys say, "Oh, I don't worry about getting a copy of their driving record. If I call my insurance and put them on my insurance, I know that they've checked them and they're good to go." Don't do that. Get a copy of their driving record. You have to have it in that driver file. And if you have a driver, you have to have an application from that driver. You have to have a sign that, like you did a driver's test with them, and a couple other things. But this was just for me. So I had that. I had the driving record. I had my driver's license. And so that was easy. I already had it in the file. Another thing I had in the file was my information on my trucks and cab card, and what else did I need for that? Cab card had the plate number on it. So, yeah, the cab card to identify the truck, and insurance. Of course, that's a big thing. You got to have that, or you wouldn't have your authority to begin with, right? So, medical DOT, make sure that's up to date. They needed all the pages of it, not just the little plaque or the little thing you keep in your wallet. They need all pages. So make sure those are legible. And like I said, up to this point, I had everything in there. Now, drug tests. Of course, when you get your authority, you have to sign up with a drug consortium. And what they do right away when you sign up, you do your initial drug test. And if you've hired a driver, then they'll have to do an initial drug test before they hire on, before they can start driving for you. So that was one thing that I didn't quite have ready. I had it on my computer, but I didn't realize I was going to need that drug test. I thought I just needed the information on my drug consortium, but that was super simple. Got that ready. And then I'd had a random drug screening also, so I included that. And so I sent them my consortium information also. E-logs, that's the one thing that you can't prepare for as far as having it in that driver file already. So, but it's an easy thing. You just go to your ELD, and what I did was I just emailed my ELD company, Keep Trucking, and said, hey, I need a report for the last 30 days. I didn't want to have to go on the dashboard and log in and try to figure it out at that time. I was kind of busy. And they just sent me the report like that. I included it in the file. But saying that, you have to make sure that you're doing your logs correctly. Not a bunch of, personal conveyance and violations and anything like that. So I really paid attention to that whole year, and so had that straight. Now here's the thing that I wasn't prepared for. I knew at one point I had to have it, and it flew out of my mind, but I was able to do this in about 20 minutes. Maintenance records. They asked for my maintenance records for the time I had got my authority till that time, which was a whole year. And I had everything, I had all the information there, but I had to print out a maintenance record sheet, which I got from the DOT website, printed it out, did one for each month. You put all your maintenance records in there. If you had repairs, oil changes, regular maintenance things, all that type of thing. They want to see that you're on top of keeping your truck safe. And DOT inspection. They needed a copy of my DOT inspection. Of course, you have to do that every year. Keep one in your truck. I had that all straight. So the only thing that took me any amount of time was to make up these maintenance records, which I had all the information. I just didn't have them on the records themselves. So I got all that, sent it in, and then I waited. Now I've heard some people say that they sent it in, and like within a day or two, somebody called them back and said, this is wrong, got to correct this, or you passed. Well, I waited over a month and was getting kind of nervous about it. Thought, well, maybe I need to call them. And as I was messing around here at the house today, checked my email, and boom, there it was. And I passed. Woo, yeah. There was only one thing on there that they put in there that it looked like it might be a negative thing, but they didn't. They passed me on everything anyway, so I don't know what that actually was all about. But the process was pretty pain-free, but I can see where it could get away from you if you're not keeping your record straight from day one. These things everything that they mail you, everything that you get in the email, these, your UCR, all these forms, it's much easier to scan those or copy those or put them in a file right then, and it's done. Label that file whatever you want to label it. But not only that, you will need some of those forms on a daily, weekly basis anyway when you're doing the carrier packet. So you might as well have them handy. And like I said, it was pretty painless. Luckily, I passed the first time, and you know, I'm not bragging. I'm just you know, thankful. You know, and so, but I have to give credit where credit is due. If any of you guys have done any studying, you might have come across a YouTube channel called Trucking from Scratch, and I think the guy's name is David. You're talking about, man, first class information. This guy knows his stuff. He's an accountant. He owns several trucks, and he gives you some very good information. So if you're looking to get in your own authority, if you're looking for information about anything to do with trucking or accounting or taxes, Trucking from Scratch, go over there and check that out. It really helped me out on this, you know, because he went through the list of basically what I just told you. My list, I think he's in Indiana, so he needed one or two different things than I did. They asked for different things here in Texas, but the process was similar, and it just to make it easy, keep those things straight from day one, put them in a file, and everything will go smooth.